Hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. Tanesia's Locks, Beauty Tips and Potpourri. Welcome home, beautiful, beautiful sisters. I think we have a few brothers out there as well. Welcome to the channel. You're with Tanesia Ali. And my job on this channel and all my other channels is to help you to gain clarity, whether it's about your locks or anything else for that matter, to up-level your mindset, to think, to heal and clear any energetic or emotional blockages. You can have those in any area of your life so that you can manifest the glory of God that is within you. That is my overall mission. Whether I'm doing that through hair or not, I'm very much in the business of service and serving people. I do healing work, and so I do that in a lot of ways in terms of expressing myself creatively. But this is part 2 of a video in which I maintained my time limit. I think that video only went to 28 minutes, and that video was called Things I Wish I Knew Before I Got My Locks. And this video is part 2 of that video, and it is called 12 Things Nobody Ever Told Me About Sisterlocks, or 12 Things I Wish I Had Known About Sisterlocks, or something like that. Oh, 12 Things People Don't Tell You About Sisterlocks. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, or subscribe. If you already like the energy here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And also make sure you stick around to the end so that I can pull an oracle card for you. All right. Number 1, okay, avoid conditioner at all costs. Run, Forrest, run. Really avoid conditioner. It leaves a heavy residue in your hair. I don't know what you might be using. Maybe a hot oil treatment is not as bad, but your typical conditioners from the store, certain parts of it are going to get stuck in the locks right around the root area where the lock starts, and sometimes throughout. As much as possible, avoid those commercial conditioners. All it will do is weigh your hair down and leave an excess buildup, and it ain't necessary, okay? Number 2, don't trim frizzies. We all have frizzies. If you were to see me in the light with a mirror, you might see a ton of little frizzies. The frizzies are a good sign. They let you know that your hair is doing what it is supposed to do, but they can be maddening to look at. It's very tempting. It can be very tempting for you to want to I did this with a few in the beginning. That's why I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Seeley. Don't change places with what I've been through. The color purple. Don't do it, y'all. It's easy to take one and just see all the frizzy and just want to trim it. But what you do is you contribute to thinning the lock when you do that. That's another thing that is just not necessary. What that does over time is it messes with the integrity of your lock. So just don't do it. If you're trimming your frizzies, just stop. Cut it out. Number 3, do oil. Now, this is my pulpit. This is something that I preach about because my loctician, the lovely Ifraj Sawad, and also the wonderful Neka Otim, Ifraj installed my locks, and she still continues to maintain my locks today. And while they may look a little short, because I've been pulling stuff and I've jacked up my hair. I can tell you how to jack it up, but I can also tell you how to keep it healthy. My locks are really long, but they're nowhere near as long as they should be if I wasn't with them, picking them with the sharpest tweezers that I could find. What helps me keep my hair healthy, and the reason why I have my hairline that I might even be able to create a new lock out of this, I might go on and do that, is because I use I Am Melanin Magic, okay? This is our premier product, all right? This is Ronnie right there for those of you who are one of Ronnie's subscribers. Shout out to Ronnie, my daughter. That's not her real name, but I can't give you her real name. She's gonna have a fit. If you know her real name, put it in the comment section. And I'll give you a 15% discount if you text me at 678-438-6442 with her real name. She's going to want to get me. But this is what I have used to glorify my mane, to keep it strong, to help it bounce back from all of the things that we tend to do that put us in trouble, whether it's overwashing our hair and drying it out, whether we are putting too much heat on our hair, whether our retightenings are too frequent and we're allowing the loctician to tighten them too tight. Whatever it is that you've been doing to your hair that is not contributing to the overall health of your hair and is making your hair very sad and depressed, this can help you turn around your hair situation. If you want to take a look at some of the testimonials from some of the sisters right here on this channel in terms of what this has done for their hair, go to the website. I am Melanin Magic, MELANIN Magic, MAGIC, and look at some of what people are saying, or check out this channel and find the 2 commercials or the 2 ads that I put on the channel. They're only videos of like 1 to 2.5 minutes each. They'll stand out because one is in a bluish background, the other one is in a pink background, and they were released in June. All right, and you will get a chance to see what this can do. Now, this is not the end all be all. You have to find what works for you. This is what has worked for me. This is what I testify to. This is what a lot of people on the channel love and are working with. And it does do what it's supposed to do in terms of fortifying your hair. It's 100% natural, made with a significant number of synergistic ingredients, natural and organic. I try to find as many high quality ingredients as I can. I take a look at those reports to see what the constituency is of the ingredients that I put in here, depending upon where they are sourced from. I'm very serious about this, and my goal is to shift the blend to a more concentrated blend so that you can get faster results. But I need to do that in a graduated way. Stay tuned, okay? But I Am Melanin Magic's hair oil is very good. I've been oiling my hair since the beginning. I am not sorry. I never will be. I work on my hair internally in terms of the vitamins and the things that I do for overall health. Because if you're not eating right, if you're not drinking a lot of water, you can have issues. Anyway, if you are not doing the other things like eating nutritiously, you're going to have vitamin deficiencies, which are going to create issues. You always have to fortify with those external things as well. We work with our bodies and our healing from the inside out and from the outside in. When you can do both, you tend to have a better result. Do oil your hair. Or I put it to you like this: give it some time if you want to listen to your loctician, but ultimately you are your own best advocate. Follow your intuition. You know what to do with your hair best. You know that if you had to oil your hair before you got your locks, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have to oil your hair after you get your locks. I don't know if you remember your mother doing your hair when you were growing up, when your hair was natural. You probably had to oil it then. I know my scalp required something different. Yours may too. Make your own decision. Watch my video to oil or not to oil. It was done sometime towards the last quarter of last year, if you happen to be on the fence with that. Next, number 4, you should not have pain on reties. You should not be taking Tylenol or Motrin before your reties or after. You should not have a headache. You should not feel the pull. They should not be painful. It should be a relaxing experience. You know how when you go to get your hair washed and somebody's messing with your hair and it feels good, or your kids massage your hair, or they plait your hair and it feels good? Your retie should be a fairly seamless, uneventful, pleasant process. If it's not, you need to have the conversation with your loctician, and you need to be serious. Otherwise, your hair will be traumatized, and so will you when you start to experience excessive shedding, thinning, breakage, and fallout. You heard it here first. Number 5. Okay, I think that's number 5. Yes, don't over oil. Just because you're oiling doesn't mean overdo it. This bottle has weight to it. It is 8 ounces. If you put all of this on your hair and you continue to do this over a period of time and you don't do a thorough wash, eventually your hair is going to feel heavier. As long as when you put this on, you wash out your hair good when you, in between applications, or whenever, not in between applications, when you do wash your hair, just wash it twice. Your hair will feel light and bouncy again, and it will be weightless. But it's important not to use more than you need. Now, the more you use, the faster your hair is going to grow. But at the same time, if you don't need a whole ton of oil down the length of your locks, don't put all that oil down the length of your locks. Unless your locks are in bad shape, in which case they is, you have to work with the foundation anyway. Do not over oil or do not overdo anything with regard to putting excessive oils in your hair. And if you are going to be using something else, choose an oil that's light. Leave that avocado oil alone. Leave that coconut oil alone, and some of those other heavier oils. Next, 6. I have a problem counting. You have to find out what works for you. I don't care how many of my videos you watch. I don't care how many videos of somebody else's channel you watch. I don't care what you read on the Sisterlocks site. I don't care what your loctician swears by. You are the master of your fate. You are the one that will be left with the fallout when you start having your locks drop or you start dealing with other issues. When that time comes, you need to be able to blame yourself. I can't blame anybody for anything I'm doing with my hair. I take full responsibility for it because I know I'm a nonconformist and I've done all sorts of things with my locks. I'm not looking to blame anybody. If you sit in that chair and you let your loctician continue to tighten your hair and you know it's too tight and you don't say anything and you keep going away with pain, or she just refuses to change and you refuse to vote with your feet, you can't blame anybody. Take control of your own Sisterlocks journey. Stop listening to other people and follow your intuition. You know your hair care needs better than anybody. This is just a style. Respect the confines of the style. Respect the things that you know work when it comes to the Sisterlock brand, but the rest is really up to you. Follow your intuition. If you're sitting in the chair and the person is installing your locks and you see them leaving out 3 inches at the bottom trying to tell you it's going to lock up on its own and you know it looks crazy and you know you paid for those 3 inches, speak up. Be your own advocate, y'all. Today in the world that we live in, it's a necessity. You cannot afford to not be the person that stands your ground and that speaks your mind and that follows your intuition. You really have to. You don't have a choice. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Always braid and band, especially in the beginning for the first few years. Braid and band. If you know you have your locks are getting thicker and fuller, you may be braiding and banding well after the 5th year. Especially as your hair gets longer and it gets heavier, you may find it to be less cumbersome when you braid and band, because when you finally take the braids out after you've washed, your hair is much more manageable. Braiding and banding is a wonderful way to train your hair and to manage your hair. In the beginning, it's not an option. I would tell you, at the very least, depending upon the texture of your hair and how long it takes it to lock, it took mine forever to lock, you should at a minimum be braiding and banding for the first year or two. Seriously. When you don't braid and band, you jeopardize the ability of your hair to really lock. And you also risk slippage, bunching, and a whole lot of other things, unraveling as well. So do yourself a favor and braid and band. If I have to keep counting these things over and over, my short-term memory, y'all, is shot. 1, 2, but we don't need it. I'm living in the moment. I make the decisions as they come. Right? The past is the source of all confusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me write down the number 8 because I have this number 21 because I was going to do the first video with all of them, but I said, you know, it's too long. Okay, so there is not a fail-safe way to keep your hair from breaking. All right? This is a journey, and you will learn more as the journey unfolds. All right? You may think you're doing everything right, but for one reason or another, you end up with some breakage somewhere along the journey. Some of it could be related to weight. Some of it could be related to just sheer longevity. Others of it could be related to the chemical treatments that you are putting in your hair in the way of color. Some of it could be related to the retightenings. 9 times out of 10, it will be. Some of it could be related to the pulling on your hair when you go to sleep at night, or when you put your shirts on and your hair is like this and you pulling it over your head and you're having to do like this like I do. It could be any number of things. The point is, I gotta say, I've been trying to taste to make sure I got my taste buds, y'all. Gotta make sure I don't have. I'm about to panic. My tongue is feeling kind of mind over matter. I need a piece of candy or a piece of gum, something that I can taste. I noticed this about 2 hours ago. And I got these little cramps over here in my chest. What is this? Let me stop. Okay, I will deal with that later. Hear no evil, see no evil, fear no evil. All right, so you may find that there are any number of things that you may be doing right and then having to pinpoint what could be causing thinning. Now that I'm this far in the journey with my locks, you better believe I keep an eye out for the potential threats to my abundance and my hair growth. Because at this stage of the game, everything is a threat. I've got extra weight. These locks have been in for a while. I've been getting these retightenings, and I don't care if you have a seamless, uneventful, relaxed retightening. There is some level of trauma involved, all right? Because there's friction that you're encountering, and there's pulling on your hair. There's what we call styling. So you have to be careful. What I'm saying essentially is that you just need to be vigilant. You need to be investigating your hair at all times. You need to hop on top of any thinning that you find. It may mean you need to spread your retightenings out. It may mean you need to do a lot of things. But there is no fail-safe way. This is a carefree hairstyle, but it doesn't mean that you can afford to be careless. Next. Number, I don't know what number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 8, 9. You can really wash a lot less frequently than you think. Overwashing is not good. For some of you, overwashing might be, for me, overwashing would be washing every 2 weeks, because I wash at the most once between a retightening, or I wash only before each retightening. Why, guys? Because we're not angels and this is not heaven. We don't live in a paradise. Our water has been impacted through chemical additives. We don't have the same quality of water that we used to have. There are all sorts of things that have been added. This water is hard on the hair. And unless you're using alkaline water, or you're going out to a spring well, a water well to wash your hair, you need to not be washing it unnecessarily, because you're also adding things that dry the hair out. So do spend more time adding things to your hair to strengthen it than putting things on your hair that can impact the overall health and pliability. You want your hair to have some elasticity, and the drier it is, the more breakage your hair is going to be exposed to. So don't overwash. If you're someone now that washes once a week, see if you can't stretch it out to once every other week. If you're someone that washes, I've read some of your comments, some of you wash 2-3 times a week. See if you can't prolong that washing, okay? I have never been somebody that washed my hair a whole lot, all right, since I've had these locks. Probably during the first year I was washing it every few weeks, but then after I got to a certain point and I realized I was able to get rid of the scalp problems and issues that I was having, and to put something in there that didn't give me a lot of buildup, or very little buildup, if any at all, then I realized that, and the types of ingredients I was putting in it, is keeping my scalp clean. So I used that. So I would tell you, if there's something else you can do short of totally wetting your entire head. I mean, there's literally, you could take a cup like this and pour water over your head. This may sound funny and laughable, and rinse your hair out if you have to without wetting the whole thing all the time. But just be mindful of that. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. Just be mindful of that, okay? Next, number 10. Do de-lint before you wash your hair. Before you put any water on your hair, always check for lint. It's a good practice. Shake it out. Get your tweezers. Pull out any lint. You see, I see a few things like floating up this way. I guess they'll eventually float back down. But just realize lint is everywhere, and you are now not a bum magnet, but you're a lint magnet. And your hair loves to grab onto things and to combine and marry things and lock up with them. That is a part of what helps the hair lock. If you start to take all of these out, you're going to see some lint. All right, so your hair will gather lint. So you want to be mindful of that. What's my time? 19. Okay. Number 11. Oh, I said de-lint before washing. Number 12 is, number 11 is to regularly check for lint. Like literally check for lint on a regular basis. I would say once a week, do this. I had a video early in my journey of where you can take a brush and put a sock on it, or a very soft bristled brush, and you can just gently brush down your locks to brush out any lint. But look at the locks. All right, and do it typically, especially if you have color, after a wash is going to be the best time. If you see a little bit of lint and you're getting ready to wash your hair, you can take a little push pin, or you can take tweezers, just very gently, just sort of open up that area, and then when you wash it and the hair expands, the lint will come up a little bit more, and you'll be able to more easily pull it out, especially if it's the type of lint that looks like it's more inside the lock and it's not just on the surface of the lock. Why, guys? Why, sisters, ladies? Because it starts to look bad when you see the lint all over. And if you're like me, I tend to be a little bit OCD. I'm not satisfied with just trying to cover it up and getting a permanent marker and doing this. I want the lint out, or at least the lint that I can see. I want to get it out of there. So the best way is to do regular maintenance. Check your locks for lint. And if you begin to see lint, and you begin to see lint too much, notice the color. It could be from sweaters. It could be from clothing. Notice, is there something that you're doing in particular that's exposing you to more lint? Is it part of your pet's hair? Is it from cleaning without putting something over your hair? What is the source of the lint? If you're noticing you're getting a lot of lint, you could be using too much oil on your hair if you're noticing a lot of lint. So be mindful of that as well. Last but not least, number 12, if you ever cut a lock or you lose a lock, for whatever the reason is, never throw that baby in the trash, because as your hair thickens and you have to add a few extra locks, you can always plait that hair or get that little piece locked, and you can add your lock to it as an extension. And that is the way that adding an extension is not going to break your hair, and it's not going to weigh your hair down. That has been my experience. Keep that piece of hair, keep that lock, and attach it to your own hair. If you decide to split a lock, or if you decide you need more length in a lock, there could be a million different reasons. Don't throw that hair out. I hope that you learned something from this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I kept this at about under 25 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. Well, I haven't done the oracle pull, but I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you with a message, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Continue to show your love, show your love, show your love. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I value you. I have enjoyed this journey, which is going to be 3 years, I think, in October. Some of you are just amazing. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Sandy Dennis. Shout out to Shirley Bernard, Armada, Alicia, Barbara, Ali, all of your referrals. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't spoken to my girl, one of the first people that, one of the first sisters who supported me on this channel. I don't know why I'm at a loss for words. There are 3 sisters that I want to mention. One of them has the lock jewelry. Forgive me, sis. I can't think of your name at this particular moment. I know your name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. And then there are 2 other sisters, but so many of you guys I've met, just wonderful, wonderful. Sheila, there are 2 Sheilas. Just so many of you. Thank all of you. I'm sending my love out to you as I pull this oracle card. We're looking for the message that you need most at this time. For those of you who have decided to stick around to the end of this video, let's see what the message is. Shay Hinton. There we go, my girl, Shay. Okay, we have 2 cards. Thorns. Ooh. And then we have Voyage. You already have all of the answers. Weave together the crown you deserve for Thorn. Very interesting. One is the card 14. The other one is 34. So I kind of am feeling with this Voyage and Thorns card that maybe you're leaving a situation that has gotten to be kind of sticky. And although you may not feel like you know what's ahead, your soul is navigating you. Your soul is your GPS, and it's helping you to move into that new space that you need to move into, all right? There could have been something that was a bit prickly that you've more recently been in. It could have presented itself as a thorn, as a rose, but those thorns kept sticking you in the side. You know, the beautiful thing about a rose is, as beautiful as it is, if you don't handle it correctly, it can be thorny. And the other thing is, as beautiful as it is, it has thorns. All right, so something that from the outside can look very inviting is also something that can cause you pain. All right, so this Voyage is moving away from something in order to move towards something. So usually this can be a card of transitioning, which is talking about you're not quite where you've been and you're not quite where you want to go, but you're in the middle. So you may be deciding what the best move may be for you at this time. You may be deciding how you can leave something that's been quite hurtful or quite harmful or just didn't meet your levels of satisfaction or your expectations, and you may be moving towards something. Some of you may be literally taking a trip. Now, that's the overall message for you at this time, okay? This could also be about repairing relationships for some of you guys. Some of you have some relationships in your life that may have gotten to be kind of thorny, and it's time to take those relationships in a new direction, okay? But we have 5 and 7. 5 is usually, 14 is the number 5. It's usually about some kind of challenge, okay? All right? So this is about, you know, also putting on your crown every morning, weaving that imaginary crown in your mind's eye that helps you to feel good about who you are, remembering that you are a queen, helping the people around you to realize and recognize who they are as well. This is a card of self-love, and this is a message of self-love, because whenever we move away from something that's become kind of prickly, it's an act of self-love. This is when we no longer betray ourselves. Let's look at the message for 34 and see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, you've been feeling lost for a while now. Wandering through life aimlessly, searching everywhere for meaning and never coming up with anything of substance. That's a kind of a strong statement there. That's the problem. You keep searching for answers outside of yourself when all of your answers can be found from within. If you take the time to look, you need a spiritual mentor, and at this point in your life, that person needs to be you. This means seek your guidance from within. Don't put so much faith in what other people are saying. Literally, believe in your own magic. This is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. Okay, I'm signing out now, sending you lots of love, hoping that you have a beautiful rest of your day, that you feel powerful, that you recognize the divinity that is within you, that you feel peaceful, productive, and prosperous. Sending out much love to you. Don't forget to stop by IamMelaninMagic.com and order any of the hair and skincare products, guys. I gotta tell you, other than this under my eyes, which is very, very light, I have nothing else on my face. Okay, and I will tell you, this is due to the anti-aging serum that is on the website. Shout out to Tony Leonard, who sent me a picture along with some of the rest of you. One of you said, this is how I wake up in the morning. And I'm grateful for that. That blend helps to rejuvenate and renew, smooth. It makes you feel better. It makes you look better. It brightens, and it has a sort of an exfoliating quality. A couple of the oils in there help to regenerate and increase cellular turnover. So if you're interested in the anti-aging serum, go get some. Lots of love to you. Bye.